So Brother Pittman and Brother Lawrence, attached with this video or after this interview, I'm going to have a video that I'm sending to our churches that will give a basic tour of the land and the property and what we've done so far. But I wanted to get a little more detail for the group when it's coming. What is left to be done is laying 2 more layers of block. After those 2 layers are done, we need to do 1 more bond, and then after that bond is poured, it usually takes about a day to dry, and as much bond as we have to pour for the entire building, I think it would take about a day to do that. You guys arrive on a Saturday. We would get back here probably around noon or 1. We would get some lunch and then come straight out here to the property. I know some of you might be tired, but if we can have everybody lending a hand on that Saturday, I think we'll be able to pour that bond on that Saturday. That'll allow it to dry Sunday, and then Monday we will continue with the work. There'll be other things that we'll be doing after the bond is laid. We're going to need to pour the floor, and so whatever tools you're not able to bring for pouring the floor, it's going to be manual. Everything's manual labor by hand. So if you have any tools that would help with pouring of a cement floor, definitely would come in handy. We are as well going to be putting a stairway right here, and after we put up the stairway and pour the floor, we'll begin putting in the ceiling, which is going to be we'll have beams of rebar running across, and we have all the measurements for that. We'll just attach them to each of our vertical beams. We also need to, before we lay those beams, we'll be pouring some more of these beams that are pointing out in the rebar, and then laying down the block that is going to be used as the base for our ceiling. And so there's a lot to be done. The email is going to be a little more detailed. Another thing we'll be doing is if any of the men are skilled in carpentry, we have several cabinets and bookshelves that we'd like to have pre-made so that we can install that after the plaster is done. Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing back from I'm Missionary Josh Mead. I want to welcome you to San Luis, Senegal. This is our ministry center that we're in the middle of constructing, and I just want to give you a quick tour, show you around what we've been able to accomplish, and then look ahead at what we plan to do in the near future. This is our main entrance and welcoming center. It gives access to all of the main rooms in the building, whether it's our offices, our kitchen, activity room, or library, and even our church meeting area. And we're excited about having a display that will show some of the past of our mission here. 30 years, BIMI has had missionaries serving the Lord. This property has been owned for 20 years by the church here, and we're just excited about developing it and showcasing some of what we've done in the past, and as well as casting a vision for what we want to do here in the future. This here is going to be our library, and while there's not much to it now, this will really be the central activity for the ministry center. We'll have books in French and Wolof titles. So our main focus of ministry and getting the gospel out will take place on a daily basis in this room. In the back here we have an area for computers to help with education and schooling, for research for students. This will be our main area where students can check out the books. And in the back room here we're going to have coffee and serve tea and other refreshments for the students and adults who come through to enjoy our book center. This is going to be our activity center, where we will have foosball tables and other different activities for students and adults to enjoy. It's going to be free of charge for the students who have access to our library. And the idea is just to get young people to come and make contact with them, whether they're school children or teenagers or even adults. It'll just be another means of building contacts so that we can share the gospel of Jesus Christ with these students and adults. Here we are standing in our main congregational meeting room. Church services will be held in this room until the second story is completed, in which time we'll move the church upstairs, and this will become our exercise room. Behind me is a piece of property that is just adjacent to our property, and a few weeks after breaking ground in our property, we learned that this property is for sale. So we're praying, and we ask you to join us praying as well, that the Lord will allow us to purchase this property. The biggest concern we have right now is that all of the paperwork would be in order for the purchase of this property. And if it is, and if the price is reasonable, our desire is to purchase it. It would allow us to have an open area to host larger gatherings. We want to thank you for praying for this ministry. We want to thank you for giving toward this ministry because of churches like yours and your sacrificial giving, not only on a monthly basis, but over and beyond for this building. We've been able to raise the funds to finish completely the first story. We plan to move in April and have ministry going full swing by the end of that month. So continue to pray for this ministry, and especially pray that the Lord will use this ministry center as an outreach of our local church here in Senegal for the spreading of the gospel of Jesus Christ.